now. All right. I hate that. I hate this fucking thing sometimes.
I wanted to check. You
Thank
did not
you.
need that headache again.
Thank you very much for helping me with that. Okay.
You're very welcome.
I don't know why it saved my mic, but it doesn't want to save my output. So.
Because it's special.
Because it's stupid. Stupid thing. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you for that, because that saved me. Okay. So you want to get up at 5 a.m., right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, Tim? Okay. So let me just go ahead and do this. Boop. And this. Boop. This. This. Boop. I gotta move some people around. Not on this floor. Not on this floor. Not on this floor. Not on this floor. And okay. Very early in the morning. Play the song. You guys hear that?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. All right, you are now awake, Timothy.
I would like to leave without waking James up.
Okay, stealth check for me.
Stealthy, stealthy.
Yep. Uh, 12. Okay. Let's see. Are you wearing your chainmail?
No, not to bed.
Okay. So you got it in your bag, but you're okay. Let's see. Just unequip that for you real quick. And James, if you care, you can roll a perception check at disadvantage because you're asleep.
Sure, why not? It's tough.
Nope. You don't notice him leaving.
Sweet. Okay. I'm not going to do much. I'm just going to move out here.
Okay.
And take the alone time to work on my potions kit.
Okay. So you're no longer trying to hide from people. You just wanted to make sure you didn't wake up James, and you start working on your potions. Okay.
Yep.
Alrighty. Let's see here. You have the Poisoner's Kit. So this is this is a new tool you're learning how to use. Okay. Add item. Okay. Tool check with the Poisoner's Kit. Okay. So I've added under your downtime tab a new training. This falls under the training guide, and as usual, you're not proficient in the Poisoner's Kit. You don't know how to use it very well. So you need to score 125 points with the kit to get to half proficiency. Okay.
Okay.
You can roll once a day, and that will create an item still. However, you know, you're not getting your proficiency bonus added to it. Your poisoner's kit is a intelligence roll. That's the ability check that's associated with it. And so if you want to do that, you go over to the downtime tab and you click on the icon as if you were going to use it like a weapon. Okay?
Okay.
The DC to progress is 10. Ooh, 8. Okay. Let me check my notes. Okay, so that's 8 points added to your total. And let me check your DC for the crafting of poison. Okay, so you are not quite a novice. You got an 8, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you've created a low-quality poison or paralytic. Which would you prefer?
We'll do a poison. It's kind of hard to make a poison non-poisonous, so...
Yeah, it's just not super potent. Okay.
When at first you don't poison, try again.
Right. So this will take you a while to do. This will take you... This is your one a day kind of check for that. Okay?
Yep.
Okay. Wait.
I think I would get up next.
Okay. What around now or earlier than that? Or later than that?
Pretty like right before dawn. So not immediately after, but here's the thing. Vera had a decision to make last night. She has a dog that's sitting with her. It's like sweet, but it's been on the streets. And Mayhem, new named, ends up on the bed with her, naturally. That's what dogs do. So she had a rough night, and she wakes up by nature of Mayhem needing to go to the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So she'll end up getting up earlier than she normally would, but brushes that off because she's been in the service and that's nothing strange. And she'll spend the morning taking care of Mayhem. She'll probably go over to the stables, ask to use some of the resources to maybe clean him up a little bit. And then while she's there, visit their now 4 horses. And just kind of like, that's one of her morning routines.
Okay.
You can let me know how long that might take her to get him cleaned up and all that jazz.
Okay. Probably 30 minutes. So you're gonna... Oop,
Not bad.
you're gonna get up with him because he's gotta go potty. And so you let him outside. You find that the front door gets locked at night. When you take him out to get to take a leak, he comes straight to one of these bushes and goes. You can see there are 2 guards down the way, kind of hanging out. Once he's done the longest pee, you usher him back inside.
No, we go to the stables.
Oh, okay, you can go around the building, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm gonna get him cleaned up and like I said, visit the horses. So I would say maybe even just an hour just being around the animals. Try to get Mayhem not, riled up.
Mhm.
See how he does around horses. It's probably a normal occurrence in the city, so nothing
Yeah.
too wild.
There doesn't seem to be anybody here, so you can use the water that's available easily to go ahead and clean him up. Spend some time with your horses here. This one's Jonathan. This one's Ruffle Me Timbers. This one's Dusty, and this one's Chamomile.
Ruffle me timbers.
Okay. So that's what you're up to. And it's probably going to take you an hour. So it's dawn. This will get you and James up.
Yep.
And while you guys are getting up, we also have some of the patrons and the manager getting up. The sun is rising.
CJ, why is it telling me I have a collide error?
Because the door's closed.
Ah, that helps. Ah, okay.
And let's see here. Oh, one's for Raven. I'll open the door for you, Raven. Who am I missing? Missing somebody.
James would like to spend like a minute still in the bedroom to make him smell more decent with prestidigitation.
Okay.
Because I can imagine what a couple days without a bath can do with you.
Yeah.
After that, he will walk out.
Okay.
Reanne is going to greet the Sophie and
Sonya.
bespoke some sort of breakfast. Oh, sorry, Sonya. Some kind of breakfast. And head to a table.
Okay.
Not where
Not where Timothy is?
where Timothy is, because obviously he wants to be alone, so just leave him alone.
Okay.
And since Vera and the dog is missing, they're probably in the stable.
That would follow, yes.
Yeah. So I will ask for a second breakfast for her.
Okay.
And a bowl of meat scraps for Mayhem.
Okay. The workers seem to be arriving about now as well. They're getting started, so breakfast will be along shortly. And the scene is yours, everyone. Sonya greets you as well, James.
James also requests some breakfast.
She says, it'll be ready as soon as it's ready. The kitchen staff have just arrived.
Thank you, ma'am.
She nods.
While you sit down, morning.
Morning. I'll wake up in a little bit. Nice soft bed makes me sleepy.
I agree.
Are we able to go through this door?
Yeah. That one isn't locked. Bork, bork,
Okay.
bork.
I don't know if that was enough time. You said about an hour, right?
Yeah, it was about an hour.
So when, I guess, where are they in this timeline
So Timothy
when I
is
enter?
in the midst of preparing a potion with his kit. James has just settled down into his chair. Piper's already over here in that chair, and Reanne's already here in that chair.
Okay.
And you see Sonya is up at her desk.
I will go up here first.
This lady is laying out some breakfast croissants and pastries and such. And this one back here seems to be cooking.
Okay. I'll just ask if they can bring over a pot of tea as well.
Absolutely.
Yay. Thank you kindly. And then I'll head over to the table. Dog can come with when he's ready. And I will sit down for breakfast as well. There probably smells a little bit like horses.
Just a tad.
Not a big surprise. So the plan of actions for today, if I remember correctly, are pick up any potions we may have gotten bespoke from the alchemist, then take the scholar to the graveyards, search for the missing troop, and pick up whatever information she wanted, as well as mail a letter to the Duke. Have I missed anything?
Well, the potions aren't going to be available until, I think, around noon is what they said. So we have our morning.
Okay, so from gross experience, the earlier in the day one deals with a graveyard, the safer it is. So we might want to head there since the potions won't be ready. Mail the letter, hit the graveyard, get out before sundown. How does that sound?
I think we may want those potions ahead of time. We could still try to clear out before nightfall. But we don't know what we're walking into, and our magic-y friend here is not at full capacity either, so
Timothy, breakfast is placed on your table, away from your instruments. Breakfast is placed on your table, the three of you, or for the three of you, and breakfast is placed on Piper's table. And she goes back.
I very carefully move my potions away from my plate.
Yep.
do I recognize any of the materials that are in that kit?
Let's see. You don't have any sort of proficiency with that kit, so you're gonna have to make a intelligence check for me.
Okay. I ask because I recognize some of the plants that were outside the alchemist's house.
Yeah.
Based on that nature check, so I wasn't sure if like they are in the form where I might recognize that it's not necessarily healing potions that are over there. If
Right.
you catch my drift.
Yeah, I
Okay.
get you.
All right, so intelligence check.
That's right.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, nope. Nope.
No.
They are finally chopped.
He's been processing them for like an hour. And so whatever materials he had are now ground up and ready for use. So
Yep.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Yeah.
Sweet, sweet spices.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do here?
I'd like to confirm everybody's on the same page with the plan. So, I mean, James, how do you feel going into a graveyard without potions?
Well, I would feel safer with potions, but if we don't have them, I guess I have to stand more at the back.
Yeah, my worry is things could still come at you in the back because it's an open space.
True.
And Timothy, are you gonna be up for shenanigans later today? Like, how long is that gonna take you?
What, this?
Yeah, what are you doing over there?
Just working on some potion skills. You know, trying to keep up on it. So there's a job. Does it pay?
Yes, a very lucrative job, it sounds like. And I'll um I think we caught the character up to speed the previous night, but basically, so Piper, the scholar over there, is studying undead, and needs an escort into the graveyard. Plus, there's crypts around and stuff. So the more we do to help her, the more money we'll get. While we learned about it, we also ran into a cultist, like we mentioned in the recap, that is worrisome. A patrol went missing in the graveyard, so the military here is also overly tapped and unable to kind of step into all of the different things. Did I get all of that right?
Yep.
Yeah. So the graveyard where Redgrass said that our vision was probably most likely indicating that that vision that we saw came to light.
Were you talking about the dream you guys had?
Mm-hmm. No, the shared.
Oh, the heebie-jeebies, the shared heebie-jeebies. Yeah, that's that direction. Yeah, the graveyard is in that direction.
Hmm. So you want us 4 plus new dog to go into the dangerous graveyard and confront cultists, undead, and evil portal heebie-jeebies?
I mean, we don't
Oh, and
necessarily know that
escorting
all
a
three of
scholar
those
while we do
things
that.
are related, so potentially.
And
And how-
escorting a scholar while we do it.
And how well does it pay again?
I mean,
I
she's
don't
right
know.
over there.
Veracassa knows this one.
Yeah, I mean, Piper, do you want to come give our friends an update, because apparently they drank too much last night and don't remember the conversation.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I didn't want to interject while you were all discussing your plans for the day. I'm Piper Halethorpe. I am a researcher with the Academy in Fordeath. I have a research grant to study the undead and the graveyard and the various other anomalies and happenings that surround the graveyard. I have a pretty large research grant that I can pay you via bank check, and that'll get you quite a lot of money. So it really depends on whereabouts you get me. More for getting me into crypts, even more for getting me into the Undercity, and let's just say it's quite a lot. I'll happily pay you 500 writs for just getting me to the graveyard, letting me investigate some things, gather samples.
Coming back alive.
I can't pay you if I'm dead, yes.
Can we do an insight check on this lady?
You can do a new one if you'd like.
I'd like to do a new one. Just to see if she comes across looking as well off, or if she comes across looking like an actual scholar.
So she does look like an actual scholar. She carries herself as such. She's clutching a large book in her arm, and she's got a pen, like a mechanical pen, that's kind of tucked into it a little bit. There's a pouch on her side. She's got nice robes. She's got nice cloak. She has a little backpack or a satchel with her. She's got a nice jewelry on her ears, on her head as a diadem. Looks clean, well put together. Definitely has money, just from the way she dresses, and seems forthright in the way she speaks. She's not really a deceptive person from what you're gathering.
So, Piper, why the curious undead fixation?
So, what I'm studying, and I have been studying for a long time, but before Tal's Crusade, was the undead in all of its forms as a branch of magical study, necromancy in specific, from an academic point of view. It really bears more understanding. Nowadays, since part of what we're doing is fending off undead attacks led by Tal's commanders in the south. So it's pertinent to the war effort nowadays.
And you're just here by yourself, huh?
Unfortunately. I did have an escort getting here, but they were rerouted.
As I said, everyone is overly tapped.
Well, I find my afternoon open and will be readily available to collect money. I mean, go on a quest.
Always so forthright.
Okay. Well, let me know when you all are ready to go. I'll be here, and I'll wait for you all.
We are thinking more the afternoon. The graveyard does not seem the safest place during the night.
It's about the same no matter what time of day. It's one of the curious things about the undead there. They're not particularly night-bound.
True, but, having extra being able to see is always useful.
Yes.
Cousin, if your objection is not having a healing potion or two, we do have healer's kits.
Mechanically, don't those just stabilize? This is a little out of...
Yes, those would just stabilize someone who's down.
Yeah. I think a boost would be beneficial. Get somebody up from being down, not just... you know.
Ah, yes, the old keep the other people from dying plan. I approve.
I do too. That's why I have the healer's kits.
You know, it would be good to take the morning to run some errands, and then could meet up around lunch to head over.
It's fine with me.
If if that's what y'all want to do, that sounds fine. I will go, and I have a letter I need to post.
I think I will also have something to do for the morning. I want to check in. I think I had been checking in at the training center. Is there a more like a specific military branch here?
Yeah, there is a garrison force here in
Yeah.
Sorath.
I probably would do the garrison instead.
Okay.
So in whatever order, that's what Vera's gonna do with her morning.
Okay. All right then. So you guys are gonna head out of here and go accomplish some stuff and things.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Let's go ahead and move over to Sorath. Okay.
As a quick aside,
Yeah.
would it be possible to get the ability to edit the notes under the quest tabs?
Oh, okay. So if you're looking at Curious Curio Collector, for example, there should be a notes tab at the very end of.
Yep.
You should be able to click in the box to enter notes there. So there should.
So it says that it will only be viewable by me, but it won't let me enter any notes there. I can do another journal entry if it's easier to do it that way, but
It might be easier to do it that way, because if I give you control over it, it'll let you edit, and you'll be able to see the other objectives and rewards.
yeah, I'll just do a journal page then.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yep. Okay, music. So who would like to go first for what they want to do around town?
Like I said, Reanne needs to post a letter to Skelgar.
Mm-hmm.
So wherever she needs to go to do that.
Okay. So you head into town and you start looking along the main thoroughfares for a courier service. There's always a courier service in one of these towns. You know where to look to get one. Speaking to the clerk at the courier service, he says, "All right, where exactly are we taking this letter to?"
The Duke of Arash.
Okay, so that's about 825 miles, and he starts doing some math. That'll be 33 writs, ma'am.
I pay the man.
Okay, you pay the man. He takes the contents, your letter, and he puts it into a box. He says, "This box doesn't get opened until the courier comes to take it. They leave every morning at dawn, and they arrive in town by sunset of whatever day it is. So, being that it is quite a while, are you expecting a reply?"
No, I am not.
Okay. If we do get a reply, even though it's not expected, where should we forward that? Should we hold it, or should we forward it somewhere in town?
Hold it.
Okay.
I will tell you where I will be going once I find that out myself.
All right.
Since I'm not expecting a response anytime in the close future.
No, it would probably be several weeks at the very least because of the distance.
Yes.
Okay.
And if I happen to die between now and then, that's notice too.
Okay. Not sure what you're up to, but I hope the best. And he says, pleasure doing business with you, ma'am.
Pleasure doing business with you. That taken care of, Reanne is going to wander around and see if she can pick up at a best fool's errand to try and find any type of healing potion, since Vera seems so set on having as many as possible.
Okay. Make an investigation check for me.
You betcha.
That's pretty good. So you're inquiring around town for a while, and eventually it comes to the point where one of the people that you're asking, a grungy-looking, extremely thin man, says, oh yeah, I know where you can get one of those. You don't mind paying a little extra, and mum's the word, Dusk Lady.
I'm going to insight to make sure he's actually telling me the truth.
Sure.
He seems trustworthy.
You know that he's hinting. Oh, there it goes. Okay, yeah. You know that he's hinting that you'd be buying off the black market. And that if you're willing to pay the premium prices of the black market, he can get you what you're looking for. That doesn't mean you're not going to get filched for more money than it's worth. That just means that he can get you what you're asking for. It's just going to be more expensive than expected.
That's fine. At least 1 to 2 potions will help Vera, because I think we were only getting 1 from the alchemist.
You're getting 4.
4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but still, extra ones are always good.
Extras are always good.
Yeah. So he says, all right, 2 hours, okay, for me to talk to my guy. Meet me at the third well in Eris District, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Third well, which direction?
North to south. So he means this one.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. So he fucks off, and about 2 hours later, you go to meet him there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He is standing there. There's another guy who's with him. This guy looks pretty tough. So I'm gonna go ahead and like drop you on the map here. There it's you. Here is, where the hell did I put his ass? There it is. There's this guy. And why is it stupid fucking thing? Update. Okay. So this guy is not the guy you were talking to. He's the tough-looking dude that's standing next to him.
Okay.
The thin man says, all right, so you pay him, I hand you the goods. And
Fair enough.
This man in the jacket says, 200 writs up front for the goods, miss.
First, I see the goods.
Go ahead and show her. And the thin guy opens up a satchel, pulls out 2 flasks, glass, of basic healing potions.
Fair enough. I give him a pouch with 200 bits in it.
Okay. He takes your money. He says, "Pleasure doing business with you. And if you don't mind me saying, you look like you can handle yourself in a fight."
I can.
There are these guys in town that are sweeping up my boys with better contracts and pay. I don't like them very much. If you see them around, do you mind bashing some heads for commission?
It depends if I have time. I've already got at least 2 commissions currently going.
All right, ma'am. Well, you see any of those Final Rite bastards, kill them. They ain't right.
What did you call them?
They call themselves the Final Rite. Like religious rite. Can
The
you believe
Final
that?
Rite.
Can you believe that shit?
No, and I'm not particularly fond of that idea either, so.
Well, they've been marching about town like they own the place, and swooping up every desperate Tom, Dick, and Harry, and some of my boys, too. Recruiting.
All right, I will keep that in the back of my mind. Thank you.
You can call me Crew. That's 2 E's. And you can meet me here again if you want to talk about taking care of those bastards.
Fair enough. You can call me Ree.
Sure thing. See you around, Dusk Lady. And he leaves. And the thin man says, "Pleasure." He hands you the potions, and he says, "You know where to find me if you're looking for more goods." And he winks and he stalks off. And that gets you 2 potions of healing. Those have been added to your inventory.
Okay, and I've just added notes to my journal.
Okay. And make sure you save them. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't save it by itself.
Nope, it does not.
I should have told you guys that earlier. Okay. So you got your mail taken care of. You engaged in the local black market, acquired some potions, got fleeced for it a little bit, but 200 gold pieces lighter.
Did you take that out, or do I need to?
I just did.
You just did. Okay.
Yeah, and you know, you got that stuff done. Anything else that you want to accomplish today?
Nope, that's pretty much my morning.
Okay. You head back to the boarding house then?
Depends. Sure.
Okay.
Because we can't pick up the other ones till about noon.
Okay. At that point, we will switch perspectives. Who wants to go next?
I can go next.
Okay.
So my first stop is to get some new identification papers
For yourself?
for myself.
Okay. So you would have to head to the castle for that. That's where local administration is.
That's my first stop.
Okay. So you head to the castle. You're heading out here. Are you walking freely and openly, or are you trying to like hide yourself and who you are while you're walking the streets?
Kind of in between. So I'm kind of off to the side, but I'm trying not to stand out.
Okay. Let's see. Give me a stealth check. Ooh, very good. I assume you're still not wearing your armor.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm going le casual.
Yeah, you're casually blending in. You're trying to look like one of the people who live in Sorath. You know, you're a little bit you're unshaven in the bad way. You know, you're not used to being this stubbly. You're used to being much better groomed. So you walk around and give me a perception check when you get to this corner. Okay. You spot someone down the street by the farmer's market. It looks like Valentin is moving about town right now.
Does he have an escort?
He appears to be by himself. At the moment.
Where at on the map was he again?
He's here.
What is he wearing? What can I see from here?
He's wearing his armor and he's carrying his weapons. So he's got the helmet on with the eagle feathers. He's got the well-polished armor on, full plate. And he's got, you know, the halberd with him, as well as a short sword and a shield. He begins to turn to go up the road here.
Did I'm trying to remember Valentin. Did we talk any beforehand?
Not really. He was the captain of the house troops. So you may have chatted with him very briefly. You know, the usual hobnobbery, but not at length. You know, he was below you in rank, in social rank. So both of you would have been polite to each other, but there wasn't much of a reason for you to have a lengthy conversation unless you were toasted, and you remember getting toasted with the gentleman, not the troops.
Crap, I don't have like any paper or anything on me. He's walking up towards the castle.
It looks like he's going towards the castle, which fits with what you were told that he's been doing.
Does he have any kind of pouches or bags or anything on him?
He does carry a pouch. It you can't see it from this angle, but you do see the belt that it's on, and it's got to be like on his lower back.
I am. Oh, I'm gonna do something stupid.
We love stupid.
Yep, I'm going to walk into him and
Okay.
attempt to sleight of hand his pouch.
Okay. So you try to do one of these where you like go past him that way, and then he's going north, do the bump turn, and slip.
Not paying attention.
Yeah.
Stupid peasant.
Okay. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
Okay, Foundry, don't fuck me. Okay.
Okay, that's good. 19. Okay. He doesn't seem to notice you slipping your hand into the pouch. He turns and he says, "Watch yourself."
I'll bow. My sincere apologies. I should be paying more attention.
He nods and he continues towards the drawbridge. Go ahead and give me like a wisdom saving throw, real quick. Okay. That's really good. You, for a minute there, it was a really disarming how polite and nice he was to you for being such a lowly peasant like you're pretending to be. And that strikes you as honorable and good. And then you remember what happened at your family home, and you think to yourself, damn, he's charming and I kind of want to like him, but I also kind of want to kill him.
Oh, he's dead.
You had a little bit of a mental conflict for a moment there because he was just too nice to you. You want to look at what you got in your hand?
Yeah, hopefully his pouch.
Okay, so you've scooped the contents of his pouch. You've garnered some money. It's about 55 Ritz, so that's gold pieces that he was carrying. So I'll add that to you.
You're gonna add it? You want me to add it? Okay.
I already added it. Yeah. He was only carrying gold pieces. You have gathered a healing potion as well from his pack, so I'm going to give you that. And you have gathered a flask of laudanum. That's a tincture for coughs and pains. It's used for treating a bunch of different ailments. He goes into the castle.
I will, since he's in the castle now, I'll change my plans about going to get some documentation until later.
Okay.
And instead, I'd like to visit the kids that I hired.
Sure.
And see if they had any additional information.
Sure. You head over to Travis District to check on those kids you hired. And that takes you about an hour. They come up and they talk to you a little bit. So far, they've said, Valentin is moving about as normal. He usually leaves the apartment in the morning, and then he moves on to the castle, and then he goes back to the apartment, and later in the day, he might head out to the boarding house, and return to the apartments afterwards.
Do they say about what time he heads out to the boarding house, if he does?
No, it was more of a he may or he may not, and it's usually at random.
Mm-hmm. Whenever he's at the boarding house, do they notice he talks to anybody? Or
he usually talks to a few people. That older gentleman in the tavern, a couple of younger men, the music artist, and he will talk to a woman that is described, but you haven't seen yet. Woman with black hair. She's got some like brilliantly sharp colored eyes. Wears sort of like a rogue's outfit of sorts. Carries a rapier. Maybe someone that he hires to do dirty work.
I'll tip the kid an extra coin.
Okay. What level of coin? Do you give him silver, gold piece, copper piece?
I give him a gold piece like this to also kind of give the other kids some what's the word I'm looking for? Incentive to spy.
To do better. Okay, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Cool. So you go ahead and you do that, and they will keep going about that. Make an intelligence check for me.
I'm not a smart man.
No comment.
You have a moment of clarity, and you think to yourself, I could get documents forged for my new identity, but that would be expensive. Oh, but on the other hand, getting new documents issued to me is a huge pain in the ass, and there's going to be interviews about it.
Would I know, having dealt with bureaucracies fairly often, if there is a process for having one's documents stolen to get them replaced? Maybe there's an easier way to...
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why you're thinking it's going to be such a pain in the ass, because usually they go through a vouching process where they say, okay, who's your family? And then they'll go and talk to your family and have them say, oh, yes, this is my son, or this is my brother. I recognize him. And they'll basically interview both of you individually. And when your stories line up, they'll say, okay, obviously they had the same childhood together. If they've rehearsed this, they rehearsed this. But, for all intents and purposes, we're pretty sure that that this is who they say they are. And you're thinking that this is going to be a pain because you would have to get people to vouch for you. And usually it's family that vouches for you. You don't have any of that left, as far as you know.
Right.
And so you're going to need to either make a family or get enough people who can, say that you are who you say you are. Basically, you're going to have to hire actors to pretend to be your family, or you're going to have to hire actors to pretend to be work acquaintances who've known you for a long time. Not like a week, like a long time. Or you're going to have to get the documents forged. You could, thinking about it, also claim to be a refugee from Valcahol, but that could get you drafted.
Right. Getting them forged, I would have to find a contact in the city.
Yeah. You'd have to get a criminal contact in the city.
Like some kind of serial flasher potion ripoff or...
Yes, or horse thief, or something. Right. You're in one of the seedier parts of town. That's these two districts up here on the northern side. So you could wait a while and see what rears its ugly head, or you could, go about your business and figure something else out. No one has asked you for your documents yet. There is that going for you. But that's only a matter of time.
Do any of the street urchins, the street kids, know of any?
Yeah. So one of these kids says, "I could point you in the right direction, but it's going to cost you just a little bit. I don't normally want to get involved with them, but they're pretty much the only criminal outfit in town that's organized, other than the new guys who've moved in recently."
So I'll take out another gold coin and kind of play around with it in my hand. Mum's the word.
He says, "Okay, you got a deal, mister. Gold coin's a lot of money. in this era, and he says, "You got a deal for that gold coin."
Yeah, I want to be known as generous to these.
Okay, so he says, "All right, I'm gonna need you to go over to Eris District. You're gonna wait by the third well. That's north to south. Okay. You're looking for a guy. His name. Well, he's with the Red Razors. Okay. His name is Crew. That's with 2 E's. I don't know what E's are, but that's his name. And this kid's, they're probably 8 years old. Street urchin, definitely not getting educated, doesn't know how to read.
Right.
Yeah. And says, that's pretty much it. You wait. He's going to see you lurking there. He's probably going to send somebody over to talk to you. You just tell him what you're looking for, okay? And he might come talk to you, or somebody else might come talk to you. Real skinny guy, okay?
No one gives street urchins enough credit. No one wants to do anything about them because they're little kids. They let them go and walk around where they're not supposed to. Great sources of information.
Yeah, there aren't any orphanages in this town. So, and none of these kids want to take a hike up to Fort F to get taken care of. They like their independence. Especially since their independence is paying them more money than they've seen in their entire life. So you want to head over that way?
Yeah, if I still have time, I'll head over that way. And
Yeah, you've got time. You've probably got about an hour before you're supposed to be back at the boarding house. And it's on the way anyway. So you head back over that way, and you wait there for about 15 minutes. Skinny guy comes over, says, "So, what do you want?"
I find myself having lost my identification papers.
Oh, you put them too close to the fireplace. It's a terrible accident.
Something like that.
I see. Well, we can furnish that for you. Boss wants to talk to you for a few minutes, though.
You mean you're not the proprietor of this
No.
service?
No, I know. No.
Clearly, it looks like you could be.
Well, I'm not. So stay right here for a minute. And this real skinny guy walks off. And this guy shows up. And he says, "All right, so I see you. My man there says that you've misplaced some paperwork."
Yep.
"You look like one of those adventuring kind of types. I see that pretty sword you have there on your hip."
This old thing?
Says, "Name's Crew."
With 2 E's.
"That's right."
My crew, name's Timothy.
"Timothy. Great. My man over there is going to get all the details that you want on your new papers. It's going to cost you about 200 gold pieces. Shiny money to get that lovely card. It's very difficult to get that card."
That's doable.
"All right. When you have the cash, come back and lurk like you were before. In the meantime, you can earn credit if you'd like."
Credit, huh?
"Yeah. Bunch of bastards running around town scooping up some of my guys and some of the desperate and poor around here with their promises and verve and fervor. Religious types. They call themselves the Final Rite." You put any of those fucks in the ground, take that symbol off their hands and show it to me, and I'll pay you for it. Put it towards your missing paperwork, if that works for you.
Wow. Putting people in the ground is an awfully risky business.
Happens all the time. And these types don't get looked for.
Is that so?
Yeah, they're recruited from the real underbellies of society.
Well, how much does one pay to make a problem like this disappear?
Say, we'll call it 10 per bastard in the ground.
10 gold.
That's right.
Awfully low.
Well, what other choice do you have, mate?
I'll get the money. You hold up your end and get the paperwork.
No problem. My guy's gonna be over in a few minutes just to talk to you about what you want on it. See you around, Tim. And he leaves. About 2 minutes later, the skinny guy comes back over. Says, alright, boss approves of this. What do you want on that paperwork?
I'll give him Timothy Habernatcher's information.
Okay. Says, alright. Believe we can get that done for you. Gotta pay us first, then you'll get the goods, okay?
I'll nod.
Says, happy hunting, and he leaves.
I'll go back to the inn after this.
Okay. Alright, who's next?
I could go next.
Okay. Anything you wanted to do in town?
James going to look for a sturdy piece of wood.
Sturdy piece of wood?
Yeah, he's gonna spend some time using his woodcarver's tools.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Are you trying to, like, make an artisan object, or are you just trying to practice?
A little bit of both. He wants to try to make a wooden horse.
Okay. Just a moment. Okay, so carpentry. No, you're doing wood carving, right? You're at the novice level, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so it will cost you 5 gold pieces for the materials. Nice block of wood for carving purposes. It's good, it's, you know, normal quality. Go ahead and give me a tools check with your tools.
On dexterity, I assume?
I'm sorry?
On dex?
It should be already configured for you. Let me look.
Yeah, it automatically grabs dexterity.
Yeah, so it should... Yeah, so it should do that kind of roll for you automatically. Okay. Okay, an 18 is good. That increases your progress by 1. And you make a high quality piece. And that is worth 20 gold pieces.
Right.
So if you want to sell it, you can. And it'll be 20 gold pieces right back into your pocket after spending 5.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay. That'll be most of your morning. Is there anything else you want to do?
And no, he makes a mental note of where he got the wood from and head back to uh, the place.
Okay, the boarding house. Okay.
Yeah, the boarding house.
Vera and Mayhem, because Mayhem's gonna follow you. What would you like to do for the morning?
Vera is on the hunt for Cara Dullahan.
Okay, so you're looking for Cara Dullahan. You
Yep. And I was gonna start at the barracks.
at the garrison here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did she tell us where she was? I don't know if she did.
She is actually assigned to the training center, so she's
Okay.
here.
Then if she had told me that for
Yeah.
sure, then I would go to the training center.
Yeah, that's where she would have told you.
Yep.
Okay, so you get there. It's probably about 8 a.m. when you get there. She's doing drills up on this hill with a ballista and some new recruits. When you get there, she walks away from them and goes to talk to you and Mayhem. Put Mayhem down and put you down. Then I'm going to put her down. Ms. Dullahan. There she is.
Excellent.
Why is your token broken? Okay. There it is. Okay. She says, "Hey, good to see you." And then there's a big twang in the background, and a ballista bolt goes sailing across the field and hits the hill there. What can I help you with? Did you get my note?
I did.
Great.
And I tend to find that it's better for someone to know where you're going. So I fill her in on Piper.
Okay.
The convenient additional reason to search the graveyard. She seems a little overeager, and I haven't gotten where I am by blind faith and trust in people.
Oh, I'll say.
Is that something that you can potentially look into a little bit? Just
Yeah, I'll ask around to see what people are saying about her, if that's what you're asking me to do. Yeah, I can do that.
She's she says she is from Fordyth. She went to the academy.
Yeah.
It all seems upfront.
It doesn't hurt to make
Solid.
sure. Yeah.
You mentioned in your note, and I look around to make sure there's no prying ears.
Yep.
That I'm going to pull up his name.
Silver Knight Redgrass.
Yep. I knew it was red something. Hold on. That he wouldn't admit to the Lost Patrol.
It looks bad.
Has he said anything to the families?
We have a lot of troops from all over the general Sorath region. We're kind of the training center for this part of the country. Nobody's been informed of anyone going missing yet. We don't have bodies to confirm that they're dead, but we don't know where they are yet. The only people that know are us and probably, well, you, of course, and probably the province commander. If anyone in command knows, the province commander knows, but I don't know if they do.
We don't know too much about the undead, but you understand there's potential that they could have turned. I may not be able to bring anything back.
That's but they'll have their denti on them, even if they have turned. So if you can get that back, we'll at least know what happened to them.
I'll do what I can.
Okay.
One more thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I fill her in on the cultist.
She kind of pales when you fill her in.
Yeah. Is it? Can you? I glean if it's paling about the information, or is it more around like me turning it in? Because where I'm gonna go with that is how much is being hushed and how much is this just a recent thing that we've stumbled across.
Okay, yeah, make an insight check.
Okay. Nah, not great.
Not great. But she is your friend, and you've spent some time around her. It looks like she is a mix of scared and surprised. Is this something that you came across this yesterday, right?
Yeah, our friend here and I pet the dog's head was running away with an amulet that I have turned in.
Okay, you turned it in though.
Already.
Okay.
Already, yep.
Okay, that means at least the garrison knows.
They know.
Well,
go ahead.
I'm gonna let Captain Redgrass know. Because we're pretty close to the graveyard, and we don't have walls, to control traffic, so we have to be aware that there might be something that might come our way.
I don't know how related they are. They could be. But Kara, I will tell you, he walked around like he owns the place.
That's really bad, Vera. That's really bad. If they're walking around like that, then there are more of them than we know about, and they've already probably infiltrated the underworld of the city. The soft criminal underbelly. They probably have already infiltrated that.
It's possible. Eyes up.
Yeah.
I'll be in touch.
Okay. She nods and she turns around, she heads back to her team, and she starts yelling at them.
I watched for a little bit.
Yeah, she's just disciplining them for no reason. It looks like she's taking out her fear on them right now. They're all doing push-ups for no good reason.
Well, I mean, they missed the part of the hill that they were aiming for. I think they probably deserved it.
Yeah.
And she'll kind of snicker to herself a little bit. And then she'll meet up with everybody.
Okay. Back to the boarding house. You guys come together, and is there anything you want to do here before picking up the potions?
Collect our wayward
Not that I
scholar.
can think of.
Okay.
But true. We do need her.
Okay, so you collect your wayward scholar, and you head up to get the potions. Unless you guys want to have a conversation with the alchemist himself, we can hand wave the interaction, and I can distribute your potions for you. You've already paid for them.
Yep, that sounds fine to me.
Okay.
I think the only thing I'd like to maybe do is see if any of us, and I mean, I don't want to speak for everybody, if Vera sees any recognition when Timothy comes with us, because he was not there originally.
Okay.
Unless, Tim, you do something different.
As far as the potion guy goes?
Yeah, because you were there earlier, but like meta, we don't know that.
Yeah, I would. Timothy would stay outside of the hut, and maybe help weed some of his planting areas.
Okay.
And by weed, I mean
Loot.
steal.
Yeah, I got you.
So can I have clocked that as weird?
Uh,
At least.
yeah, probably.
Okay.
I think that's fair to say that looks weird. Okay. So you guys begin to head towards the graveyard. You
Yep.
can go around the top end, or you can go through the city and and up the road. There is no road access on the northern side of the city, but there is road access on the western side. But you'd have to leave through the south gate. So that'll take you a little bit of time. Which way do you want to go? Do you want to go through the hedges, or do you want to go up the road?
Through the hedges, because there's less chance of being seen.
Okay.
Now, more people would be watching the road.
Yeah. So you basically make the 300-foot jaunt under the shadow of the wall, climb through the hedges, and then move through the trees. There's a distinct difference in the land when you step onto the ground of the graveyard. As you push through the hedge, there is sort of a shiver that climbs up your spine. The air is noticeably colder. There's a perpetual fog on the floor of this wood. It is a wooded area. And it's almost like the temperature is a little bit colder. It's maybe like 45 in this area, when normally like wooded areas are a little bit cooler. They don't have as much sun exposure. This one seems to have quite a drop here, enough of a drop that the mist on the floor is almost icy in the boot. And Piper immediately says, "Ooh, this is just the kind of phenomena I was hoping to be able to put into words." And she starts writing down immediately what she's feeling stepping onto the land there.
Can I grab her by the shoulder to make sure she doesn't go any further in just yet?
Yeah, she's standing still.
As a
Hold on.
player, I can assume this is not normal.
Oh yeah, this isn't like a normal feeling when you step onto the land here.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is sort of a feeling that is definitely off. And as she's writing, she says, "It's so interesting that it has such an effect on the land. I had read about this, but I didn't expect it to be so pronounced." She puts her bag down and takes a little like glass jar out and a little shovel, and she just trowels some of the dirt into this glass, and she puts a cork on it and puts it in her bag. "Okay, first sample taken. Dirt just inside graveyard perimeter."
Piper,
Yes.
example of what?
So,
Obviously, you were expecting something, but what?
okay, so the Undercity is below us. It doesn't have an entrance into the sewers of Sorath, as far as we know, but it does perpetuate under the ground of the graveyard fully. When, in ages past, when this place was more frequently visited by people who were using it for its purpose, they created barriers along the city wall and along the perimeter of the affected land. These barriers are magical in nature, and they penetrate the ground. They go down quite deep. But the graveyard itself, not a strange phenomena, but the Undercity underneath it has been a place of perpetual necromantic energies ever since the first wars in our land, the Fourth Sorath War, to be specific. Historical war, very long time ago. The necromantic energies that perpetuate this place from when they were making guardian undead to protect the graves of the fallen, of the nobles and whatnot. A local tradition that was, you know, something that stayed for a long time. Those energies penetrated the very land itself and sort of gave it a quality of not unlike the undead, but something that is similar. The trees themselves should also have those kinds of qualities. And she goes up and she touches one, and that sends a shiver down her spine. She goes, ooh, yeah. So she collects some samples of some leaves and some bark, and puts those in her bag as well. Okay, let's go find a gravesite.
Well, hold on.
Oh,
Yeah. So what exactly are you hoping to find here?
okay, don't be mad. But I'm hoping that we can find some of the guardian undead. We'll stay very clear of them so that I can get some sketches. And hopefully we'll be able to do enough observing up here on the surface to see how they act on the surface. They're not supposed to be on the surface. They're supposed to stay within the Undercity. So if we come across any guardian undead, we should be very wary up here because they are loose. We should also destroy them. Once they're destroyed, I'd like to examine the body if there is one left over. If there isn't one, like it's an apparition or a ghost, we'll make do with sketches and notes about its behavior. The project's goal is to discover as many weaknesses for these creatures as possible so that we can exploit those weaknesses among Tal's forces in the future during this war that's going to happen, whether we like it or not. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for undead. We're also looking for to gather samples of the land, trees, grave dirt, some of the corpses, and some of the undead's remains as well. There's also a lot of stuff in the crypts and in the Undercity itself that is undocumented. And we do need to document that because they understood necromancy better than we did, and it would be good for us to fight against it if we understand it better.
Well, this just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it?
Yep.
I'll be honest, Vera doesn't really care too much about the educational stuff right now. What she is going to do is kind of get on her knee and talk to Mayhem and just have one of those moments of like, if this is too scary, you meet me back at the inn, and like tries to talk to the dog like it's a human and like giving him full autonomy to kind of, you know.
He seems to understand, but he also seems to want to be with you, but he's a little scared. His tail is a little tucked. He's kind of staying very close to you right now.
Yeah. And I say, next to me is sometimes not the best place to be. Go hang out with the scholar in the back if things get crappy.
Can we do a quick perception check of the path that we're on to see if there's any recent or old tracks?
Absolutely.
James, can you help me look for some tracks here?
Yeah, of course.
You may roll with advantage.
Thank God.
I I almost also wanted to say that you could have added Bardic Inspiration, but with the 18, I don't think you need it.
Okay. Yeah, 20. Where you are here in this area, this wooded area, there aren't any tracks, so no one has come this way before. Once you get up towards the road and by some graves, you do notice that there is a lit campfire. And I'm going to go ahead and drop you guys on the map here. There you are, Tim. There's James. There's Mayhem. There's Vera. Vera down. I'm going to put Reanne down. And now I got to go and grab our scholar, Piper. There's Piper. Okay. And real quickly, can you all see?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a cool map.
So she kind of looks like she's ready to like move towards the nearest gravestone, but she's staying on the path with you all because this is what she's paying you for.
Every time she goes to move away from us, I will just glare at her.
She's not moving, but she really wants to.
Did we come across any tracks or paths?
There do appear to be some tracks on the road. Fairly recent. Kind of heading deeper into the graveyard.
Any returning?
Yes. Heading in both directions, fairly recent. Let's see. With that perception check, I can definitely tell you some of these tracks look to be more organized, and others appear to be much less organized. So there's some foot traffic that is like squared off or organized, or like marching in a particular line, makes you think, okay, those were soldiers doing a patrol. And then there's a lot more foot traffic of people moving about that are not moving in an organized fashion.
One would say maybe shambling?
Not quite. No, not shambling.
Just
regular movement.
There's a lot of traffic here
And
for a
is
single
going to pull
patrol.
her axe. Because four-armed will survive. You know, cousin, you get us into the most fascinating situations.
I'm not sure I'm gonna own this one. I do think we should follow signs of the patrol. Did she just go off?
Inward and onward.
She walked 15 feet and walked around the gravestone to look at it.
I will approach and say, "What did we talk? This is not what we talked about."
Oh, sorry. Sorry. And she goes back into the line.
I look at the gravestone of whoever was there.
It's just some soldier who died like 400 years ago.
You never know. Sometimes gravestones can be pretty cool. I've seen ones before that have like, make them look like trees and stuff.
Yeah, that one's not very decorated. Mayhem's kind of sniffing around a little bit.
Does it seem like he's caught scent of something?
Yeah.
I will follow him.
Okay. So as you follow him, you see an arm kind of like languished on the ground there.
Not great.
On the ground over here. It's just no,
Is that where he went? Or is he?
He's going this way. He's coming around.
All right.
He's coming up towards the camp. That looks like it's up there.
Okay,
Stick together.
He's running right in. I'll try to like call him back to be like less, quick about it, and I'll just. Can I perception that campfire?
Yeah. So right here where I've pinged, there's a dead body. It's just because it turned itself invisible that it's not seen right now.
Okay.
So I'm just going to give it a hit point back, but it's dead.
Okay.
No, that makes it invisible. That makes it invisible too. That guy's
Yeah.
dead. So
Is this like a rock cliff or anything? Like, do we have to climb up it to see, or is it just kind of a hill?
it's just a hill. So you can see that he's lying there dead.
All
He's
right. I would
in-
like to, I think, approach that body and see if this was the campsite for the patrol.
Okay. What's going on? She says.
Trouble.
So you approach.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make an investigation check. Mayhem goes with you. Sniff, sniff, sniff.
Well, obviously, there's some holiday campers, and we're just stepping by to make sure they're following proper campfire safety.
She kind of looks at you like, what? Why? This isn't the place to be doing that.
That's called sarcasm, Piper.
Yeah, I'm picking up that he's one of those. And she keeps moving.
Uh-huh.
It's very,
Reanne keeps facing her.
it's very odd. So with your investigation check, you do see that this has been abandoned for some time, but it's still burning. So someone has recently, like, put fuel on this. This guy here, as you investigate, has been mauled to death. He's got his papers on him. I assume you searched the body as part of this investigation check. He's got his denti on him. He's got his, his weapons, his armor. When you read his identification, this guy is nowhere near where he's supposed to be. He was a soldier that was assigned to some backwater town 300 miles north of here.
Wonderful.
Wow. Well, I take his denti for sure.
Yeah. This being who you are,
Yeah.
as a soldier, you feel like this man is a deserter.
Hold on. I didn't hear any of that because dogs. Can you repeat it?
Yeah. You feel like this man was a deserter.
Okay.
Okay, so you take his denti and kind of mentally note that. She goes up the hill. I mean, I guess it makes sense that they would camp here because it's a little bit higher off the ground.
It's also going to put us in easier sight. Is there anything else here at this campsite?
Just the campsite, the fallen tree, the fallen pillar, the tent. In the tent, when you searched it, just the normal sort of things, a couple of spare rations on the ground, a water skin, and then there's this shrine object over here.
Okay.
And you see that she's eyeing it, but she hasn't moved towards it yet.
Come on, Piper. Let's go look at the shrine object.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna step away for a second because dogs.
Sure.
But I'm following, and we'll continue to just watch for signs of the patrol.
Before they get to the shrine
Mm-hmm.
in the camp, can I cast a quick spell?
Sure.
I'm going to cast Divine Sense.
Okay, you're looking for undead and fiends and demons and that kind of stuff, I presume.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you cast the spell, it doesn't go through very far through stone, does it?
No.
No. Okay.
That is not behind total cover.
Right. You do not sense any undead within 60 feet of this place, or fiends or celestials.
And do I detect any evil presence or
Malignant?
malignant, but
Malefic?
malefic presences?
No, not at the moment. Actually, yes, you do. There is something on the soldier that hints to a malefic presence.
I'm gonna go further investigate him then while they go over to the altar.
Yeah, you ferret that item out, and it's you pick up this amulet out of his pocket that was missed when Vera searched him. It looks like it's melted together from nails or some other type of like iron pieces. And as you pick it up, you kind of feel a little woozy and dazed. I need you to make a sanity saving throw for me. Okay. You feel something wedge itself into your mind. You failed that pretty badly. So that's going to reduce your sanity score by 1. As you pick this up and you look at it, and you're feeling dazed, you hear a presence whisper to you. So unfortunate what happened to you, Dominic, your family. Wouldn't it be nice if you could bring them back? I can help you do that. Bring them back.
Yeah, I'm gonna pocket this.
Okay, you pocket it. And she's over there when that's happening. She's watching over Piper. James, you do see Timothy kind of like rifle with the corpse and then kind of stand there for a second. And Timothy, you come back to reality in the moment. While that's happening, unless you want to do something, James, I'm gonna bring our attention to the shrine in the corner.
That's okay. James was watching the path a little bit.
Okay, so you're kind of like on lookout right now.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Go on.
Okay, 13. You see down the road a bit and to the north, there is a crypt entrance, kind of just hanging on the road there, just off the road. You've spotted it. And now that you've spotted that one, you're kind of like, oh, okay, that's what those look like. And you kind of do like a 360 view. And there are 2 others to the north and then 1 to the west of your position. So looks like there are 4 entrances nearby.
All right.
So you clock those. Piper is looking at this shrine and she says, "This is strange. There aren't any markings on it that are legible anymore. It looks like no one's taken care of this object." She does like a 360 walk around it. She takes like her thumb and she licks her thumb there and she kind of like rubs down on one of the faces of this thing and says, 1,000 years of grime won't come off. It hasn't been here 1,000 years. It's probably only been here for like 200 years, but too weathered to make out what this was saying. This is probably a relief. It probably was like a standing stone for directions, likely to find an entrance into the Undercity. If we could read it, it would probably tell us exactly where we are in relationship with one of the entrances. But it's too worn for me to make out what's going on with this thing. And then she takes out her book and she notes the location of the camp and she notes the location of the standing stone. She says, okay, well, that was interesting. I need a sample of some grave dirt. Does anybody mind accompanying me to one of these graves?
Nope. Go
Okay.
right ahead.
Okay. She goes over to this side and takes a look around. And this one will do. And she hops down right next to this tree. She says the roots have probably penetrated the grave itself. And so she takes out her little shovel and starts digging under by where one of the roots kind of like digs under the slab. And this takes about like 5 minutes. And then she says, okay, this is probably good enough. And she pulls some of that dirt out from under the slab and bottles it. And says, all right, that's good. See, this wasn't so bad.
Those are famous last words, Piper. How does a nice girl like you fall into a profession like this?
She kind of blinks at you like she's been stunned. Her mouth is a little open. She says, academia is a perfectly legitimate profession.
I didn't say it wasn't. I was just meaning the specific one. It's not normally something someone is usually so enthusiastic about.
Okay, so all the other girls, yes, they want to learn about magic, and they want to learn about history, or they want to, learn about art and that sort of stuff. I like this stuff. It's interesting. It's more interesting than current fashion trends.
Fair enough. Not to mention everything new was old once.
Right. So this is what's interesting to me. Just people get a bad reputation for being interested in this kind of stuff, and I won't stand for it.
No, I was just wondering how you managed to find your niche inside this. It's not a common one.
She kind of pouts for a second. She says, all right, well, I won't take offense at that then.
No, you shouldn't. If you found your passion, run with it. So few people do.
She nods. Says, okay, so we've gathered some samples. It's probably been like 45 minutes. It's about 2 in the afternoon.
Actually, it's about 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, 2:30 in the afternoon. Sorry, I misspoke. She says, is there any chance at all I can convince us to go to a crypt?
Well, it
How
depends
much
if
is
you
it
can
gonna
find
pay?
the crypt.
Okay, so this will get you all what we've done here right now. Will get you all, as I promised, 500 writs. And for a crypt, I will happily pay you for 1,000.
All right.
Do we know where any of the crypts are?
Well, let's look around. And she goes over and she gets up on the hill and starts looking around.
This woman is going to be the death of me. Chasing after her is like trying to herd a cat.
Okay, so you definitely hear this conversation, James. So if you want to pipe in.
James just points in the general direction of where he found the crypts that he saw.
Okay. So she looks and she says, okay, well, let's pick one of those. I will let you choose, since you are my security detail.
James, you're the one who found them.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me 1d7, James. So you would do /R1d7, just like that, without the quotes.
Yeah, I figured it out.
Yeah. Okay.
7.
So, 7. That takes us to this one.
Before we head off in that direction,
Mhm.
with this dead body right here, I'd like to do a quick funeral rite.
Okay. Is that like a magic spell that you want to do, or is that a just you want to do some rites over the corpse?
It's a standard roll.
Okay.
Sorry, it's a standard ceremony
Okay.
where
Okay.
it's kind of like just a lay on hands.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so you do that. You go ahead and do a little ceremony over the body, and you kind of. What is your intention with that? Are you trying to send him off to like where
No,
he's?
the goal is to just make sure that he doesn't rise up within the next 7 days, so
No.
that his body can be collected and then he'd be given a proper burial.
Gotcha. Okay, so that works instantly. No problem at all. That takes. Okay, so let's go ahead and load the next area. All right, so you move up towards the north, and you head towards a crypt entrance. The two drow ladies flank the entrance. They look down into the darkness. Looks like just straight stairs towards an area. They go down first. Piper and Mayhem follow after.
CJ, I have no tokens, and it's a black screen.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Okay, just said no tokens available. So
yeah, I'm just narrating at the moment. And
okay.
You guys arrive down here. I'm gonna put Timothy last, if that's okay. And
Yep.
I'm gonna put Piper right next to Mayhem. Okay. She says, I can't see anything. Is it okay if I light a candle, or or does somebody have torches or something?
Can do dancing lights.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do the dancing lights this time.
Okay.
Okay. Dancing lights.
Quick question.
Yeah.
How many hours was it ago that my sword has been taken from me? Because my dark vision shrinks 1 feet every hour.
It's been. Let's see, that was like yesterday, or was that
What, two nights ago?
2 nights ago? Right. So it's
So about 50 hours?
yeah, it's been about 50 hours probably.
Alright. So my dark vision sits comfortably at 70 feet.
Okay. So let me adjust that for you. There you go. So what color are your dancing lights?
They are in a warm amber.
An amber, okay. Put one there. Put one there. Put one there. Okay. And I can move these around to wherever you'd like them.
Okay.
Where would you like any of these? You want to spread them out a little?
That's a good direction to move it. Yeah.
Okay. I am under the impression that you
one
can.
by the entrance.
Okay, so we'll leave this one here.
Yes.
Yeah, you can kind of move those
It's
around
always good to know
freely.
the way back.
Yeah. Bork, bork, bork. She said, as you guys come down off the stairs and step onto the ground, it's just bones. As far as you can see in this chamber. And she says, oh, is it bones as far as we can see in this chamber?
Yeah.
I've read about this. This is the bone pit. This is the bone pit of Sorath. Oh, this is interesting. Okay.
Where do you find these people? I'm looking specifically at the Baroness, and
Don't look at me. Look at Vera. She's the one that started talking to her.
I shrug and say, tavern.
I've been to a tavern. You find people who sing, people who drink, and people who don't find people like this.
Well, that's very rude to our new friend.
She doesn't look like she's hearing it at all. She's kind of just like moving.
Piper.
Yeah, yes.
Piper.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
You should let us go first. Tell us where you're going.
Oh, I just kind of want to I kind of want to confirm that the chamber is all bone.
Okay. So I will walk with her.
Mm-hmm.
Hand on my saber.
Okay.
I already have my axe out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do saber out, and I'm gonna do another divine sense.
Okay. Your divine sense carries for 60 feet, right?
60 feet. Yep.
Okay. She picks up one of the skulls on the ground and kind of examines it for a moment. She says, okay. Despite it being as
Reanne?
aged
No,
as
go ahead. Sorry.
Despite it being as aged as it is, it seems to be in good condition. She puts it back down. Water. Okay. Can we go and take a look at the water?
Sure. If
Carefully.
the GM would move the dancing light a little further over. And Reanne is going to go further and deeper into this event
Sure.
since I can actually see it.
Yeah, so you go further into this chamber, and it's as you walk, you can't avoid stepping on bones wherever you go.
No, I know.
And it crunches as you do this. Mayhem kind of like sticks with Vera as you guys move about, and Piper looks up at the ceiling and says, well, there doesn't look like there's any kind of leak, so this must be here some other way, because it's been raining for months. It would still be leaking. So she goes and she gets another flask out of her bag and pulls a sample out. Timothy, as you're using your divine sense to kind of look around, you definitely do sense an undead presence within this space.
Do I get a general direction?
It's kind of unfortunately fuzzy, and it's sort of fuzzy in the way that, like, when you look into a microscope and you realize that the object that you're trying to focus on is too close. And then you realize it's all around you.
Paris. James. Paris. Can you hear me?
I think they can hear
Excuse me, are you calling my name?
Yes.
You want to try my actual name?
You know, part of me hopes that we do get eaten down here.
What's the problem?
There are things around us that should not be here.
Okay, I tap Piper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's up?
There are two. I'm getting the impression that maybe we should be going.
Oh, okay. Let me grab a couple more samples. And so she starts grabbing a couple of bones here and there, and she puts them in her bags and writes down in her book a few samples taken from the bone pit of Sorath, femur, skull,
You
radius.
can do that later. Let's go.
Okay.
Can we get
Wait,
more light?
Sure, I'll do my dancing lights too.
And what color are your dancing lights?
Hers are probably more a yellow, like when her eyes turn.
Oomph.
Yep.
Oomph.
How far can you spread them out?
This is probably about as far as they can go without, like, being unconnected. Reanne, you and James kind of both see movement in this area.
Oh, wonderful. Yep. Would someone get Piper the hell out of here and
Yeah, I'm urging
James?
her.
No, pick her up, Vera, and carry her out.
Pick me what? Wait.
Just go.
Okay.
I don't want to pick her up. I want my sword arm available.
She kind of heads up the stairs.
Yep, time to go.
Oh, somebody needs to keep an eye on her. And I'm going to walk. We're going to walk very slowly backwards and keep an eye on whatever that movement was.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Yeah, I'm hanging by the stairs to make sure everyone gets out. So.
Perception.
What'd you get? Oh, an 18. You see a figure come floating out of the darkness. Man-shaped, black. The eyes and the mouth are like flames. You see it coming at you, and we're gonna have to roll initiative. So just a second, let me put you all in a combat stance.
Also, just to notice, my token vision isn't correct distance.
It isn't? Okay, let me fix that.
No, it's still on the old 120 feet.
There we go. Should be better now.
Yep. I don't see him anymore.
Yike. Okay.
Row.
Are you ready for initiative?
I am ready for initiatives. Mayhem with the natural 20!
Oh, good.
Okay.
Where's the boy?
Proceeds to run away.
Good boy. Smart Mayhem.
Yep.
Mayhem's going to go guard Piper.
Mayhem's turn is first. Mayhem doesn't see what it is going on, but he feels something is off. He is going to kind of move backwards, kind of with his tail between his legs, and bark incessantly.
Bork, bork, bork.
Bark, 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 bark.
We'll put those back on.
Okay. Vera, it is your turn.
What direction were they pointing? Yeah, I don't see that.
Yeah, you don't see it.
Was it called out ahead of time? Like, do I know it's there?
You know it's in that area, yeah.
All right, then I will run up to my cousin.
You see it now.
And I guess I will throw a javelin at it.
Okay.
It hadn't attacked us yet. Just, oh well, too late.
Nope.
Misses it. You throw your javelin at it and it sort of becomes incorporeal, and the javelin flies straight through its space
Interesting. And then I will shout to my companions to run.
Okay. Do you want to do anything else on your turn?
I don't, Sure, I'll rage.
Okay.
I think that's it.
I don't believe it did. Let me try something real quick. Rage. Use. Yeah, I overrode it. Okay.
You just dropped it down to 1.
Oh. I'll fix that too. Okay. Your concentration on your lights is broken, though.
Okay.
Why is it always the dark crypts?
There we go. Okay. Disable concentrating, and that will be the end of your turn, I believe. Yep. Piper leaves the battlefield.
Good.
Good.
This brings us to the Wraith. Its first thing that it does is try to blast this light. And it shoots out a bolt of pure darkness that comes streaking towards. It passes through the light itself and snuffs it out. You can position a new light wherever you want on your turn, Reanne, but you do hear it shriek, "The light! The light!" And there we go. Check that box. It blasts the other one.
Just with a heads up, ladies, some of us don't have dark vision.
James, it is your turn now.
Would I be aware that it is just outside of my visible range, so to speak?
You know that it's out in that direction, and you definitely saw it. Those two dancing lights get snuffed by the darkness. That it shot out. You didn't see the darkness because that was in total darkness. But you did see like a beam of pure night pass through this area, and then one pass through this area. So you do know that it's kind of in this general vicinity.
All right. I am going to shoot a crossbow bolt in that general direction of where I think it would be coming from.
Okay. Disadvantage, because you don't have eyes on your target.
Yeah. Again, target, but I can still roll.
Oh my god. So you fire your crossbow bolt, and it sort of jumps vertically out of your crossbow and hits the ceiling. Malfunction. It's not broken or anything, it just malfunctioned. Okay. Anything else on your turn?
Yeah, I would want to walk outside.
Okay, yeah, you can leave the battlefield.
I am fully going to leave the battlefield.
Okay. You walk into daylight. It is now Reanne's turn.
Reanne is going to pull a torch out of her bag and shove it at Timothy and tell him to light it, please.
Okay.
And move a little further to try and be rear guard against the Wraith.
Okay. End of your turn?
And that will be my act.
Okay. Timothy, a torch is handed to you. You're told to light it. And then she walks into the darkness.
Really?
Yep.
Timothy will light said torch.
All right. You get a torch. I think torches are 20/20. So that's 40 total feet of range, 20 feet of bright. There you go.
And I will come stand with them.
It hisses as you walk towards it with the light.
Foul race. That's my action and movement.
Okay. Mayhem backs out and leaves the battlefield.
Excellent.
Bringing us back to Vera.
I want to try to fairy fire it
Okay.
because that has light, right? That's
Yes,
kind of like
it does.
So Wraith won't have this one.
It
Did it
succeeds. Yes, it succeeds the saving throw, though.
Ah, darn.
Yeah. It screeches in response to that. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what happens on the success?
So on the success, that area is lit, but the fire doesn't stick to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that area within the cube is fully lit. Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Shrieking, it basically flies 30 feet towards Reanne, but not flying towards her, flying towards the torchlight. And as it arrives, it's coming in to break its clawed fingers, its long, dark, shadowy fingers towards Reanne. It's a natural 20 for 26 total.
Ouch.
Dealing 35 points of slashing and necrotic damage.
Ow.
There is.
You do need to make a Constitution saving throw, Reanne.
Okay. Come on, give me. Thank you.
You succeeded. That saved your concentration.
I lose rage.
Oh, good.
Why do you lose rage? Oh, because you cast a spell?
Yeah, I need to remember that there's no point in me casting spells. Yeah.
Okay. As its second attack, it's going to blast Timothy with a dark bolt, trying to snuff out the light. Uh, 20 hits. What are you doing? No. Stupid.
Well, I'm trying to hide the torch.
Not you. Okay, 16 points of necrotic damage, Timothy. So as it's flying at you in this rage, it rakes its claws across Reanne. Its ghostly fingers basically passing through you and ripping out the stuff of your soul, wounding you heavily. The other hand reaching towards Timothy, darkness leaping out from it and skewering him straight through, doing the same kind of damage to Timothy. You feel weak and wounded as the blast goes through you. Reanne, it is now your turn.
Going to take a swing at it and yelling, "Get the hell out of here!"
Okay.
To my companions. I'm not sure what good my axe is going to do, but I have to try. Come on. Give me my cookie. Why is you not giving me my cookie?
There's your cookie.
Thank you. Ah.
14 is too low. You swing and it sort of wisps backwards out of the way of the axe, slowing to dodge your first attack. I think you have 2 attacks.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try again.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you being... There we go.
Ooh, even worse.
Even worse.
Yeah. You miss again, fending it off from you, but it not making any purchase on it.
I still have my movement action, so I'm going to start slowly backing away, trying to keep me between them and it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
End of turn.
End of turn. Okay. Okay, so as you go to pull back, it does reach out with an opportunity attack and scratch you again.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Taking you to unconsciousness.
And too late to do my second wind. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's so I'm now unconscious, guys. Good luck. Oh, and we lose the dancing light.
Yep, that goes away. So, Timothy, you've got the light right now. And it is your turn, Tim.
Okay. Well, we have some decisions here. We've lost the dog. We've lost our range.
You need to leave.
You say that. But I think I'm going to attack him.
Okay.
What is my carrying capacity? Strength 14.
You can carry up to 210 pounds.
Does Baroness have a live figure?
That's a good question. Well, she's got armor.
Yeah, but your armor is made of flame spinner silk.
This is true. Where would my weight be?
That's normally done in the biography. You've made her 6'8" and 230 pounds.
It's too much for me. I'm gonna have to cover them falling back. Thinking about spells. I will. Damn, it's got 30 feet of range on us. Well, you go first. I don't want to abandon you two here.
I'll get her. Go.
Fine. All of these things play out on Timothy's face as he contemplates attacking it, but I will run towards the exit.
Okay. If you dash, you can go all the way out.
You might want to leave the lantern for us, the torch. That would be helpful. But I'm unconscious, so what do I know?
You guys don't need it.
Right.
Yeah, but it hurts it.
You could drop it. I'll say that on the way out. Drop the torch.
I tell you what, I will drop the torch before I run towards the exit.
Okay, so where do you drop it?
Right where I was.
Okay.
Yes, I know it's metagaming, but our characters are smarter than we are.
Okay, so that's the torch there, and then you don't have that anymore. So let me turn that off of you. 0, 0, update. Okay, and then you run out and you leave the battlefield. Okay, so that takes us to... He goes after you, so that brings us to Veracasa. You see that as he drops his attention, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
It was almost 19, but it's not.
This is pretty obvious. Oh, that's not from you. That's from the creature. Oopsie. I had you selected. Its focus is turned to the torch.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There is no way in hell Vera is going to do any movement without making sure Reanne is okay. So I'm going to use my action and feed her a healing potion.
Okay.
And then I want to move, but I can't hold movement. So I am going to... see, let's do the potion of healing. How do I do this?
I already did it for you. Basically,
Okay.
if you're feeding it to them and you use your whole action, you get all the hit points. So she's got the 10 hit points. You just gonna have to deduct one of your potions. So that's down to 3 potions there. And you're kosher now for your action.
All right. So I'm going to feed her the potion. I'm going to give her a little jingle, and then I'm going to move myself not all the way out, but here, enough so that I can usher her out. And I'm praying that this light keeps this thing distracted.
Okay. So he drops the torch. You feed her a potion. You kind of back around the corner. And as that happens, it flies to the torch and claws and rakes at it for its full round, snuffing the light out. And when that happens, it kind of ignores you, strangely. And then it turns and it begins to float back towards where the fairy fire is.
Uh-huh.
And it looks like it's getting ready to attack that.
Okay.
Reanne, you briefly passed into unconsciousness as you tried to dodge out of the way of its last attack. You wake up on the ground on the bones
Yuck.
in darkness.
Well, sort of darkness.
Yeah, your version of darkness.
I am waving my hands and gesturing.
Why didn't you run?
We can talk about it later.
Ow.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
I take my action to get up,
It's
and I think that cuts movement. That
Yeah.
cuts my movement to half.
Yeah. So cutting your movement to half to get up from prone gives you 15 feet of regular movement left, and then you can dash for 30 more feet, which will get you out.
And probably pass out again. And that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. That brings us back to Vera.
I am gonna leave.
Okay. So you leave the bone pit.
Yep.
And we'll take us back to the regular Sorath map. As you leave the bone pit, the last thing you hear coming from the darkness is the whispers of the creature going. And you all are back outside. Piper is standing there looking a little sheepish and says, "Well, it seems I do owe you all quite a bit of money. Perhaps this is enough for today."
She didn't see any of the fight, right?
No. She left as soon as she was able.
Right, okay.
Uh-huh.
So I'll
She's
say, well...
assuming
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be another day.
"Are you okay?" she says.
No, I am not okay.
She winces.
He is not okay. Points at Timothy.
Timothy puts his hands on himself and then fully heals.
Nice trick if you can do it.
So
You need the system?
you're back up to 28.
27. I only have 15 lay on hand points.
Oh, okay, so you're almost fully healed.
But I'll also cast Cure Wounds on
How many spells can you prepare a day?
3, I think.
You have 3 that are always prepared already. So you have Divine Smite, you have Compel Duel and Command. So if you haven't chosen your spells...
I haven't chosen the other one, that's right.
Yeah, so you gotta have...
But Lay
choose
on
one.
Hands is a...
That's a
Cantrip.
yeah. That's a feature. That's a passive
Right.
ability. You can always do that. So under your spell casting, you can choose a number of paladin spells equal to your charisma modifier plus half your paladin level, rounded down. So your level 3, your charisma modifier is
5.
3, So that's 6 rounded. Half of it down
3,
is
right?
3. Is 3, yeah.
Yep.
Let me look at your oath. Just your oath spells. Gain oath spell. Okay, so those aren't always prepared, are they? You always have it prepared. Okay, so it's 3 in addition to those 3. So you can choose 3 more spells. So Cure Wounds is one of them, since you want to use that. You've been probably thinking, what are you thinking for the other 2?
Well, I had ceremony.
Oh yeah, you used ceremony. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's got to be one of them.
And then I had divine smite.
That one's always prepared. So
Right.
that one's free.
Cure wounds.
You got that one? So one more.
Bless.
Bless. Okay. So you want to cure wounds? Go ahead and cast that. Okay, so 4 points back to you, Reanne. You're at 14.
Ooh.
What's your spellcasting modifier on that?
His
This looks
Reanne
really weird.
pulled her arm out to Verkasa to get help to her feet. We
She
are
will provide it.
done for the day.
We can be done for the day. Some drinks, and Piper, we have some fight techniques we can share with you.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. Maybe I should learn
Doesn't like No, I don't. I mean, like, we can tell you how
Oh,
you responded in the fight.
Oh, yes, that would be wonderful. I was a little scared of learning how to fight myself. Okay.
No, yeah. I mean, we should teach you, when we say leave, leave. I think that's a lesson everybody can maybe learn here. But no, I meant we can. It doesn't like light.
Noted. You do get 3 more hit points, Reanne. For some reason, it didn't take that his spellcasting modifier was charisma. It's had selected none. Good catch, James. So that.
Yay.
So that's 3 more hit points that you didn't have before.
Yay.
That's 1d8 minus 1.
Yeah, I saw that. It was a good catch. Okay, so we're gonna leave off here. You guys return to the boarding house. It's been about another hour. Just getting back. It was a few minutes inside the bone pit, and it was been in about another hour. We'll leave here at the arriving back at the boarding house, and we'll meet again in 2 weeks. I hope that's good for everybody.
Yeah.
On the way back in, can we let the town guard know about the body so they can collect that one?
Yeah, you can let the garrison know about it. They will.
I have the ID, so.
Okay. You know that you can turn that in for money, that ID. So if you want to do that, you can turn that in now.
Yeah.
Okay. So the ID gets you 20 gold pieces.
Excellent.
You can share that amongst everybody if you'd like.
Yeah.
Okay. So all of you get 5 gold pieces.
How much does it cost for a room at the inn again?
It's less than that. The boarding house asks for boarding house. Yeah, I write all this stuff down so I don't have to remember it. Boarding house, there it is. 1 silver piece a night, and that's it.
You got that right, James?
Yeah.
It sounds like a yes, I do have one silver piece. And it's for me.
It's more like a yes, I do have it. Why are you asking that?
Ah, just curious.
Okay. I'm gonna give you guys the rest of your money, so just a second here. And 5 gold pieces for you, and 5 gold pieces for you. And 5 gold pieces for you. As far as XP goes from that fight, the creature, the wraith, you ran away from it, which counts as a type of victory because you survived. So you, as a party, will get half of the value. Not the bard. The bard is a test character.
I wanted to say I am playing as a bard as well, so
Different bard.
different bard. Thank
Mhm.
you.
Yeah. Now, why is he supposed to get more of that? Hold on. You're level 3. You're level 3. Mm-hmm.
Knowing that there's a hidden bard is like finding out you have like a step cousin or a brother that you never knew about.
Yeah, right? It's it's just a test token, just a test character that I use. Just to see if, like, oh, is this scene put together properly? Let's drag around a token, see if it works the way it's supposed to. Okay.
He's like our Lemony Snicket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's there, but he's not. Okay, so you guys each earned 225 experience points out of 900 from that. So I just distributed that to you all, and then I'm going to give you from 1,000 to all of you, except for the test character. Points for RP. So 1,000. 1,000 across all of you. Points for RP. So that's another 250. And okay, and from the prior 4 sessions, I forgot to give you points for those, so I'm going to do that now. Because this is episode 5, I think, right? Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay. So that's 1,000 each. Okay.
I also have Rusty Nail Crazy Stone.
Right. You have the Rusty Nail Crazy Stone. Yeah, I'll have to add that into your inventory between sessions. So I'm going to make a note of that. Okay. That wraps
You
this.
should not keep that.
That wraps this up. I hope you all had fun. I'm going to cut the stream now. So we'll catch everybody in 2 weeks.